Strike the last word.
Gentleman's recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise in support of the Pence Amendment. The time has come to end federal funding of abortion. This is one of the worst misappropriations of funds in our federal budget, and it is unacceptable to most of the people, Republican, Democrat, liberal, or conservative, in this country. Many taxpayers, including me, are sickened that the hard-earned tax dollars are put toward funding the nearly 1.3 million abortions in America every year. The minority party's demagoguery and demagoguing language about some kind of war on women is nothing but laughable. Plenty of family planning services outside of Planned Parenthood exist to help families seeking direction, care, and counsel. Those ethically sound places and services deserve a portion of funds to continue their much-needed and well-respected services. But our nation's largest provider of abortions isn't one of them. Under Title X, Title 10, federal funds go directly to Planned Parenthood, where the money ultimately funds abortion, and this is one of the worst stipulations in current law. Again and again, Planned Parenthood has proven itself corrupt and misleading. No American who is against abortion should be required to help pay for it, and no American can seriously argue that the federal government isn't paying for abortion right now when Planned Parenthood receives at least $360 million from the taxpayers each year, while simultaneously performing more than 324,000 abortions. Regarding the gentleman from New York's charge that we should be using a bill of attainder and challenging us to say otherwise, I take that challenge. As a person licensed to practice law in Indiana and licensed to practice before the United States Supreme Court.
The House is not in order. Will members take their conversations away from the floor? The gentleman deserves to be heard. The gentleman may resume.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would say that the bill of attainder, this amendment is not that. The people of the 4th District of the state of Indiana and their representative have the right to produce an amendment to stop taxpayer funding of abortions, and we are doing that here tonight. Thank you very much.
For what purpose does the gentleman from California rise?
I rise to strike the last word.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
A number of our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, on the Republican side of the aisle, have said that they don't want abortion to be funded, and therefore they're going to vote for the Pence Amendment. But they believe that people ought to be able to get the clinical and preventive services that a group like Planned Parenthood would otherwise make available to them. Well, look, Planned Parenthood does not pay for anybody's abortion using taxpayers' dollars. That is clearly in the law. It's covered by the Hyde Amendment. If Planned Parenthood has abortion services, it is completely separate. It is not only separate from the family planning services and others for which they get government funding. They have to keep separate records. It's completely a different operation. So the Pence Amendment is trying to strike the funds under the Health and Human Services programs for the services that Planned Parenthood as an organization would provide for them. Now, it's not just family planning funds. It's all federal programs, including Medicaid and the Community Health Centers program. Now, this organization serves 15% of all women in need of contraceptive services in the U.S. and 4 million women, for 4 million of women, it is their primary health care provider, the place they go to, not only for planning services, but basic preventive health services such as cancer screenings. Take that money away from them, they're not going to be able to serve the women who need those services. So where will those people go? Are they going to go to the community health centers? Well, this particular funding bill takes out $1 billion from the community health centers. Well, where else can they go? Are they going to look to the Medicaid program? Well, one of the entitlements that the Republicans most want to savage